1, 2, 3, 4. Hey everyone out there in Banjo land, Mike Heading here, coming to you today with an intermediate version of Man of Constant Sorrow. This tune's going to be a great jumping off point for anyone who's got a beginner arrangement worked up on this tune and wants another solo to tackle. We're going to stray a little further from the melody on this one and incorporate some bluesy banjo licks on top of our solo. So this is great practice on kind of towing that delicate line between playing the straight note for note melody or playing a completely improvised solo. And I hope I found a nice balance between the two. And, you know, I'll break down the whole tune note for note and show you a bunch of backup stuff you can do. So here we go. Here's Man of Constant Sorrow. Alright, so here's the first three measures of Man of Constant Sorrow. Let me play it and then I'll break it down. Alright, one more time. So we're starting with the pickup, measure 1, we're starting on beat 2, and I'm going to do 2 pinches right in a row. So I'm pinching the 3rd string and the 1st string, open and open, and then I'm putting my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. And I'm doing that same pinch, same 2 strings. Sounds a little bluesy, and then I'm going up to the 1st fret of the 2nd string, and I'm using the 1st finger of my left hand. And then I'm playing that note with the index finger of my right hand. So it's 3 notes, 3/4 notes right in a row. 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1. Okay, here's measure 2. Let me play it and then I'll break it down. Okay, so we're doing a 1-3 hammer on the 2nd string. And I'm using my 1st and 3rd fingers of my left hand. And I'm using thumb and middle with my right hand. So I'm getting my thumb all the way up to the 2nd string and then middle finger on the 1st string. So after those first 2 notes, then I go up to the 5th string and I do a forward roll, thumb, index, middle. And I'm keeping the 3rd finger of my left hand down the whole time. And then I do that same roll one more time, thumb, index, and then on that last middle note, it's the and of beat 4, I'm going to put my pinky down on the 3rd fret of the 1st string to get kind of a bluesy sound. So it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... One more time. So a cool little practice thing you can do is you can practice adding that 3rd fret on the 1st string at different times. So you could have it down right away and it'd sound like this. So I kept it down the whole time there, or you could start with it off, and then add it, and then take it off, because we got 3 1st string notes in that measure 2. So you could practice adding that 3rd fret at the 1st string. It just makes kind of a G7 lick. It's kind of a partial G7 chord. So it's a cool little kind of just lick you can use. You can add that, you know, anytime throughout that measure. You know, and it'll work in other songs as well. So you can, that's a little practice tip you can do. One more time, here's measure 2 as written. Okay, now here's measure 3. We're going to start with the 5th string. Then we're going to do a pull off from 2nd fret of the 2nd string down to the 1st fret of the 2nd string. And I'm using my 2nd finger and my 1st finger of my left hand. So you're going to do an 8th note pull off. So it's 1 and 2. It's kind of weird we're doing it on an upbeat. So 1 and 2, and then we're going back to the 5th string, and then a backwards roll. You keep your 1st finger down on the 1st fret the whole time, and then we're going to bring our 3rd finger down to the 3rd fret of the 3rd string and do a little choke. So you're going to bend the note up just a little bit, and then you're going to hit the open 1st string. Okay, so that whole measure 3 sounds like this. make sure you give that pull off enough time. You know, give it the full eighth note. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, so one more time. If that's really giving you trouble, what you can do is you can add a middle finger, you know, in between that pull off to help keep the timing. So then it just becomes a forward reverse roll. But it's more syncopated if you leave that middle finger out. Hear that? So one thing you can also do is if you're still having a lot of trouble with that, try just the right hand on its own. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So I'm just playing them all as zeros, you know, and just focusing on the right hand so you can hear how syncopated it is. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's kind of cool, is if you leave some of those notes out sometimes you get more syncopated right hand, which kind of adds to the bluesy nature of the song. Okay, so those three measures together sound like this.